All right, what's going on, guys? This is Jake with Fitness Insider coming at you guys with another good one today. But first, as always, hit that subscribe button, join the family. I would love to have you guys, man. It is awesome to see all the positive comments and people get involved throughout. Looking at all the comment sections of my videos, man, most of you guys have been putting really positive, good stuff in there, and I really do appreciate it to everybody that has been getting involved. This is what this channel really was created for. It's what it's all about. It's just awesome chatting with other people who are, massive fans of bodybuilding like myself. But anyways, guys, definitely consider subscribing if you haven't. I got something awesome on the menu today. So as you all are, I'm sure, aware that the Europa Pro is coming up very soon. The craziest thing about this competition so far is that the top 3 of most of these categories are going to be qualifying to the Olympia. Now, that is awesome. That is really awesome for so many people, but my only issue with that is that you have bigger shows that have already happened where only the winner qualified for the Olympia. Now, again, this is really awesome. It's going to give everybody a chance, or more people, a better chance at getting to the Olympia with this shortened season due to the craziness going on in 2020. But I do think it might be a little unfair, getting closer to the Olympia. There's a lot of guys at the other big shows, like the Arnold, like the New York, where the top 3 could have been, qualifications could have been extended to those guys as well, so it's just something I was thinking about. This is awesome for these competitors, but I think if you're going to do this, I think you should also maybe extend that same courtesy to the other guys to the competitions at least at that caliber or higher. But moving on, Big Ramy is confirmed to be competing at this show. This is awesome, guys. Look, this is going to be a bigger show than I think they've had in a while as far as the names here, and we got a lot of talent here. We got people like Regan Grimes, Raphael Brandeo, James Hollingshead, and so. I mean, there's big names here, guys, and I will go on record. I think most of us are aware Big Ramy is definitely the front runner here. I think most people, once they basically seen him sign up for the show, I think it basically became like a foregone conclusion that he's most likely walking away with the victory here. I mean, both of those guys are extremely talented, extremely genetic marvels, in bodybuilding. But Big Ramy he's on another level, man. This guy is literally like top tier caliber bodybuilder. I mean, he's a runner-up at the Mr. Olympia before, he's had that Olympia title in his sights for years now. All he has to do is bring the shape and the condition, and he wins the show, hands down. And I think the other guys in the show probably know that, but at the same time, I do not want to dismiss these guys because anything can happen, and we've seen that in bodybuilding time and time again, where somebody who wasn't expected to win just shows up at their all-time best, and maybe the best guy, historically, shows up off, and that really gives the other guys a lot of room to kind of sneak up and take the victory there. So, not saying it is a foregone conclusion, but I think it is a very good chance that Ramy is walking away with the win here. All right, guys, so right now, I want to basically go through why I think these 3 are going to basically be the top 3 in this show. And we're going to start with who I think is going to be number 1, which is probably who most people think is going to be number 1. And that is, of course, Big Ramy. Now, I don't think I should have to explain this, but I'm going to because maybe a lot of people don't, I think most people who watch my show, watch my channel, are basically, hardcore bodybuilding fans. I think you guys know at least as much as I do or more. Okay, so I don't think I should have to explain this, but I'm going to, in case there are people that don't really know the sport that well and they're just getting into it. So Big Ramy is literally, he's been a Mr. Olympia runner-up. Clearly, the dude has mass like no one else. I mean, literally, I think he walked on stage at the video you're seeing right now at the 2020 Arnold Classic. I heard that he was somewhere in the 300 to 310 pound range at this show. And, while a lot of people were criticizing his level of conditioning, you cannot say he came in off. I mean, dude, the dude had shredded glutes. And if you have shredded glutes, you were not off, okay? Yes, I think people expected him to be tighter. I think people expected this to be the best Ramy they've ever seen on stage. And I think that's where the criticism really comes from. But, dude, he was not off. I mean, tell me right here, how is that not at least pretty good conditioning, especially for a guy that's 300? Yeah, he's a little bit watery in the back region, but still, everything else looks very good on the guy. And for those of you who don't know, that is basically Ramy's biggest setback, I would say, is the conditioning. Now, if he comes in peeled, he could beat anybody that is currently competing right now, and that includes Phil Heath. If he came in with Phil Heath level conditioning, nobody could beat him. Nobody. And the problem is that we've never seen Ramy shredded like that. I mean, a couple times maybe when he won that New York Pro, he was really shredded, but ever since he got this level of mass, we have not seen that. And I think that's why people are starting to think maybe he never will. I personally do believe we will see it at least once. I think we're going to see some awesome conditioning, and I think once he figures out how to do it, and he has Chad Nichols working with him now, which is one of the best coaches historically, gurus. He worked with Ronnie Coleman, and Ronnie was known for conditioning. While conditioning definitely has a lot to do with your genetics, I think most people are capable of bringing in the condition necessary to win a show, and that's why I think Ramy will do it. Now, besides just the conditioning, let's talk about the mass. I think the two biggest guys that he has to compete against are Raphael Brandeo and Regan Grimes. He is going to outmass those guys by a lot. So if he comes in with the condition, there's really not too much those two guys can do about it. Okay, guys, and we're going to talk about Regan Grimes next. Now, me talking about him second does not mean I necessarily think he's going to play second. I think it's going to be either second or third between him and Raphael, but I just randomly chose to talk about Regan second. So that's why. Anyways, guys, Regan, man, as you can tell from the back here, I mean, even in the picture, in the caption, it says 4 weeks to improve. So this was 4 weeks out. Dude's hamstrings, glutes shredded, vascular. His back looks super tight and crazy looking, man. I mean, this dude is just genetically gifted. And as you can see here, I mean, this is 2 weeks out. I mean, how dry, and the hamstrings are just fully separated. The quad sweep from the back, I mean, you can just see this guy has a lot of genetic gifts, and I really expect big things from this kid. And I say kid, he's only a couple years younger than me, but I do believe he's in his mid-20s or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he has all the time in the world to make the necessary improvements to be a future Mr. Olympia. And yes, I do think he can be a future Mr. Olympia. I think his genetics, all the pieces are there. He is missing nothing. The only thing he needs is a bit more mass to hang with the big boys. But that comes with time. Again, if the dude is in his mid-20s, I mean, for where he's at now, it's incredible. Put 5 more years of improvement on this kind of body, I mean, it's going to be crazy. And don't tell me you can't do it in 5 years, because look what Brandon Curry looked like in the 2016. And then look what he looked like, 2019. In 3 years, that guy made strides like I've never seen. So, I mean, yes, this guy could literally put on another 15, 20 pounds and be one of the most dangerous bodybuilders, on stage. And I really, really do think that this guy, we're going to be talking about him as a prospect for the top 3 in the Olympia in the next coming years. So, yes, I think this guy is going to do very well at this show. And I would not be surprised at all if he takes second. I mean, hell, if Ramy came in super off, this guy could actually win the show. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No, most likely not. But he is that good to where he is almost for sure getting a qualification for the Olympia. Alright, guys, and last we are going to be talking about Raphael Brandeo. This guy, I mean, you want to talk about aesthetics? This guy has aesthetics like none other in the men's open. People talk about Patrick Moore having the aesthetics. guys, this guy has far more aesthetics than Patrick, in my opinion. I mean, he has crazy big arms, awesome shoulders. I mean, look at the chest. His chest is like the fullest chest I've seen in men's open bodybuilding since like Arnold. I mean, his chest is crazy. He has one of the smallest waists, especially waist to shoulder ratio. It is crazy. His legs are amazing, especially his quads, man. His quads are out of this world. And from the back, honestly, it's good. I haven't seen it in a while, you know, especially in a lineup with some other big guys next to him, but I'm assuming it's very good, and I think this guy is dangerous, man. He was dangerous back when he was smaller. He's put on, from what I can tell, a decent amount of mass. So I really do think this guy is going to be, he's going to be hard to beat, you know. I do think, if I had to make the prediction, I do think Ramy is basically going to pull away pretty decisively as the clear front runner of the show. And then I think you'll have, you know, Regan and Raphael battling out for second. And I do want to say, I don't follow James Hollingshead that much. It's something that I do want to start following him more, but I'm very excited to see him because a lot of people are very excited and they think he's going to do well. So, you know, he could be somebody right up in that mix too. I'm not super familiar with him as a bodybuilder. But anyways, guys, this is really predominantly the top three that I expect to kind of be front runners in the show. I could be wrong. There could be a couple other people that sneak in there. Bodybuilding, you know, is very surprising every once in a while. So anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. Like I said, I'm super excited for the show. I cannot wait for it. I will definitely be doing more coverage. Because we're getting so close, most of my upcoming videos are probably going to be about this show. But yeah, anything you guys want to see, if there's some topics you want to see, definitely throw it down in the comments section. Also, I do want you guys to tell me. I want you guys to tell me what you think about my predictions. And I want to see what you guys think. I want to see who your guys' top three are. So definitely let me know down in the comments section. Please like this video if you liked it. Definitely subscribe if you like this kind of content. I will be bringing much more things in the future. So again, I want to give a special thanks to those who have subscribed, commenting, liking the videos, getting involved. You guys are awesome. I cannot wait to see this channel grow. So anyways, guys, much appreciated. I'll see you on the next one.